Yeah, how you doing? Talk about gang stalking, and I'm talking about how the world has been infiltrated. Most people in the world are like Stasi agents. Most people in the world that you see have been sacrificed in some sort of way to this gang stalking program, to the monsterhood, to the Stasi program, that they've got running type programs. And everyone has been sort of deceived and honey trapped and baited by, you know, um, certain types of people, and they're baited and honey trapped, and then they're sacrificed and they fall victim to the gang stalking program. And, either, like you get gang stalked or you become an agent. It's like, it's that simple. It's like, your gang stalking either continues on or, you become part of the matrix. You fall into the matrix type scenario. And, it's always going to be there. I hate it how people say, like, oh, my gang stalking stopped and, like, everything's back to normal and, like, I live this normal life and everything like that. Well, I believe somehow that you got sacrificed some sort of way, and they've basically you've become an agent of some sort. It has to be, you know or your gang stalking just doesn't stop. You understand? Everyone is becomes a victim, falls victim to the gang stalking program, knows about it, and they've all been deceived in some sort of way. They've all, like, fallen victim to all this gang stalking program. There are some people I know that I met, and they were being accused of being a paedophile as well when they were in their high school, when they were still in high school. And they told me that they got through it. They got through being called a paedophile and all that sort of stuff. And they ended up getting sacrificed anyway, because I could tell the guy became an agent. I could tell the guy was an agent, and become part of the gang stalking program, the monsterhood. He became part of the monsterhood. You know, and, like, he went through it through his high school years. And I'm also being accused of being a paedophile, rock spider, and things. But my gang stalking hasn't stopped. I've just been tortured by invisible people. Like, everywhere I go, I'm under surveillance and so on. And, like, they're using my family, everybody. Like, everybody's gone. Like, everybody I know is fucking gone to this fucking program. You know, the monsterhood, the gang stalking program, COINTELPRO, you know, and all they people do is discredit me, humiliate me, just everywhere they go to try to make me look crazy. They try to make me look like, all my harassment, all my torture is basically made up, imaginary, when, it's real. It's, I can't show these invisible people because, they hide so well. But, like, I can show you how to synchronize with cars, with people, with with planes, with everything else, because, I synchronize with everything. If you're being gang stalked, synchronicity, you'll always see synchronicities and numbers and everything. Just, you'll see it like a matrix. It's and you just know how to read those things. It's all part of the matrix, and everyone, like, is, like, programmed. And you see that everywhere you go, and people are hateful towards you. They're negative, they're aggressive, you know because you're not one of them yet. Like, you haven't become an agent. You haven't made a pact with these people, and you haven't been sacrificed yet. Like, All these people you see everywhere have been sort of sacrificed. They talk about sliding throats and things like that, sliding people's throat, you know, and that's sort of a way that you become a type of, in the gang stalking program, you become an agent of some sort. They sort of slide your throat, if I can explain it that way. I don't know how to slide somebody's throat. I've never seen the throat sliding devices that they've got or anything like that. But apparently, you know, when people tell me sometimes where I walk around, they tell me like, oh, they're not going to slide your throat, or they, things like that. And they're obviously sliding people's throat when you become an agent of some sort. And they're just some sort of like words that I've learned along the way about the monsterhood, about gang stalking and things like that. And everyone is fallen victim to this. Everyone is in an invisible army. Everyone is part of this type of army scenario. you know Everything's become like militarized. And they talk about people are like dead. They say like these people are like the army of the undead. They're like zombies or something like that. An undead army of some type. And they're all given different names. They're all got like other name, baptized with different names, everything. People you talk to aren't who they say they are. You know, it's like they have other identities, like Jason Bourne, like the Winter Soldier. They tried to call me several names, a couple of names, and I didn't know what they were trying to do to me. Like the brainwashing didn't work on me. And so my torture continued because I wasn't falling victim to this type of thing. They were more assaulting me. It wasn't like more brainwashing. It was more I was being assaulted by these people and raped and tortured and things. You know, that was their type of scenario with my scenario. I get physically assaulted like more. You know, I do get V2K, MK Ultra in my head all the time. But I'd rather that than be tortured by these people. And everyone's been sacrificed like this, very much like we do. We get hit with frequencies. We get hit with all kinds of weapons and things like that. And they've got heaps of weapons at their disposal, apps, everything that can zap you, that can cause you to hallucinate, cause you to like collapse on the floor, things like that. They've got all those devices. And they're talking about people like zombies and things like that. People like undead. Sometimes you hear people on the street like talk to your friends and things, and my mate will just tell me like fucking zombies out there. Everyone's like zombies, just acting like zombies, like and they're aggressive and just crazy, out there. And because they're blasting frequencies in the atmosphere, on our planet, from satellites that are causing us to be aggressive, causing us, to sexually like, be promiscuous and all types of shit, and they're blasting those frequencies at us, and it's controlling our minds. Like it's just like when you watch a television. When you watch the television, you watch the commercials, everything like that. All the commercials, like, brainwash you every time. They're showing subliminal messages, color sensitization, blue, red. Everything's like blue, red, and things like that. Where they try to always sensitize you with colors and things like that. To try to brainwash you and buy things and consume. You know, and these frequencies are causing you to be sexual, to be violent, to cause you to lash out and attack people. It makes people mentally ill. These frequencies are driving people insane. You understand? And it's causing people to become like zombies and things like that, you know, and just have odd behavior that's out of character for the person. And they just spaz out and just can't even control their thoughts and words and actions and emotions because the frequencies are so strong. you know when you come into contact with other people and things like that, people lose control being around each other, and all kinds of hypersexual, hyper violent, hyper reactive. These frequencies that they're blasting at us causes us to become hyper reactive, causes us to become crazy and things, you know, and they're brainwashing us. Anyway, I just saw another YouTube channel. He's also being gang stalked. He's a top bloke, DB. Shout out to you, mate. You're an awesome bloke. And, I watch you all the time, and, we've got to expose this gang stalking together and, just communicate and expose it. And with that being said, take care.